Most people think the reason they're not building wealth is because they don't earn enough. So they work harder, chase promotions, pick up extra shifts, and even after the raise comes, they still end up in the same place. The money just disappears. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The problem was never your income. The problem is that nobody ever taught you the rules of the game. And today, that changes. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why investing matters, what to invest in, and the step-by-step order that quietly makes ordinary people wealthy over time. The first thing you need to understand is why investing isn't optional. It's survival, right now. If your money is sitting in a regular bank account, it is losing value every single day. Inflation eats away at purchasing power at roughly 2 to 3% every year. That means the money you have today will buy less next year and even less the year after. Keeping your money idle isn't playing it safe, it's a slow, guaranteed loss. Here's a simple example. A meal that cost $8 a few years ago costs $12 today. The dollars didn't change. What changed is what those dollars can actually buy. If you had $50,000 saved and left it completely untouched, inflation already took a silent slice out of it and you didn't even notice. The stock market has historically returned between 8 and 10% per year over the long run. That's how you beat inflation. And when you combine that with compound growth, where your returns start earning their own returns, the results become extraordinary. $1,000 invested at 10% annually becomes nearly $7,000 in 20 years without adding a single extra dollar. Scale that up to $1 million and you're generating $100,000 per year completely passively. The variable that changed isn't luck or skill, it's simply time. And that's something every single person reading this has access to right now. So how do you actually start? You need an investment account. Think of it as a bank account built specifically for holding investments. There are two main types. First, a retirement account in the US. This includes the 401k through your employer and the IRA, which you open yourself. These come with major tax advantages, but your money is generally locked until retirement. Second, a regular brokerage account. No special tax benefits, but no restrictions either. Invest any amount, access your money anytime. Platforms like Fidelity, Schwab, or Robinhood make opening one completely straightforward and free. Now, what should you actually buy? This is where most beginners make expensive mistakes. Individual stocks sound exciting. And yes, if you picked Nvidia 5 years ago, you'd be up over 1,500%. But for every Nvidia, there are dozens of companies that flatlined or went to zero, and you would have had no way of knowing in advance. Even professional fund managers with full research teams fail to consistently pick winners. Studies show that over 80% of active fund managers underperform a simple market index over the long run. This is exactly why index funds are the foundation of smart investing. An index fund doesn't try to pick winners, it simply tracks a market index like the S&P 500, which represents the 500 largest companies in the United States. One purchase gives you instant ownership in Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla, and 495 other companies simultaneously. Instant diversification. No research required. Here's why that matters. Intel was once one of the hottest tech stocks in the world. If you had invested at its peak in the year 2000, you still would not have recovered that money today, over 2 decades later. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 has increased more than 4 times in that same period. One company can wreck your portfolio. 500 companies spread across every sector of the economy absorb individual failures and keep moving forward. The fees matter too. A typical index fund charges around 0.05% per year. For every $10,000 invested, you pay about $5 in fees annually. An actively managed fund typically charges 10 times more. That gap, compounded over 30 years, costs you tens of thousands in lost returns. Keep costs low and let compounding do its job. Now let's talk about when to invest, because this question stops more people than almost anything else. The most common version sounds like, the market is at an all-time high, I should wait for a pullback. Here's why that thinking is costing you money. The S&P 500 spends roughly 8% of all trading days at all-time highs. New records are followed by more records, and research shows that if you missed just the 10 best days in the market over a 30-year period, your total returns would be cut in half. A Schwab study tracked 5 investors over 20 years. One had perfect timing, always bought at the market low. Another had terrible timing, always bought at the peak. The terrible timer still ended up with nearly 3 times more money than the person who stayed in cash waiting for the perfect moment. Being in the market imperfectly beats waiting on the sidelines every single time. Start now. Adjust later. The strategy that removes all psychological pressure is dollar cost averaging. Invest a fixed amount at regular intervals. Every month, every 2 weeks, whatever works for you. When prices are high, your money buys fewer shares. When prices dip, it buys more. Over time, your average cost smooths out, emotion is removed, and the decision is already made before the day even starts. Now, here's the order that most people get completely wrong. When it comes to where your money goes, sequence matters enormously. Start with your 401k, but only up to the amount your employer matches. This is literally free money. If your employer matches 3% of your salary and you skip it, you are leaving thousands of dollars behind every single year that you can never get back. Your contributions also lower your taxable income right now, so it is a double win. Next, if you have access to a health savings account, fund it. The HSA is the only account in the entire tax code that gives you 3 tax advantages at once. Contributions lower your taxable income. Growth inside is tax-free, and withdrawals for medical expenses are also tax-free. If you can pay medical bills out of pocket, leave the HSA money invested and let it quietly grow into a powerful second retirement account. After that, open a Roth IRA. If you could only ever open one investment account in your life, make it this one. You contribute after-tax money, but everything it earns from that point forward, all growth, all gains, is completely tax-free when you retire. You can also withdraw your original contributions at any time without penalties. One mistake to avoid: funding the account and forgetting to actually invest inside it. The Roth IRA is just a container. You have to choose what to put in it. Otherwise, the money just sits there doing nothing. Once your Roth IRA is maxed, open a taxable brokerage account for anything additional, no limits, no lock-in. Full flexibility. The final piece that holds this entire system together is automation. Doing this manually every month is how the best intentions eventually fall apart. Pick 3 dates. Your paycheck arrives on the 1st. By the 4th, AutoPay covers every essential expense: rent, utilities, insurance. On the 8th, automatic transfers move money into your Roth IRA and brokerage. Your 401k comes out of your paycheck automatically before it even hits your account. Set one recurring transfer into a high-yield savings account for emergencies, one afternoon of setup, and from that point forward, your financial system runs in the background every single month, whether you think about it or not. Here's the complete picture. Inflation is real. Sitting on cash is a guaranteed slow loss. Open an investment account today. Buy low-cost index funds instead of gambling on individual stocks. Start immediately and stop waiting for a perfect moment. Follow the order: employer match, then HSA, then Roth IRA, then brokerage. Use dollar cost averaging to remove emotion and automate everything so the system never depends on your daily motivation. Wealth is not built by people who found a secret formula. It is built by people who started, stayed consistent, and let time do the heavy lifting. The best day to begin was years ago. The second best day is right now. If this gave you clarity, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because next time we are breaking down exactly how to read a company's financials before you invest, so you know what you're looking at when you eventually go beyond index funds. See you then.